Okay, so this is a flipped class, and that means that what we're going to be doing is kind of the opposite of what you do in a traditional class, where I would lecture during the class and then you would do homework outside of class. And that's because research has really shown that active learning is more effective than passive learning, and so that's what we're going to do this semester. So that means that there's going to be some prep work that you're going to need to do ahead of coming to class to make sure that the stuff that we do in class is as effective as it needs to be. So before you come to class every day, you're going to need to watch the lecture videos, you're going to need to do some reading, and then you're going to need to take a quiz based on the lecture and the reading. During class, we are going to be working on labs. So we'll start by doing a quick review of the previous lab, and then we will work on a new lab in small groups. And that'll give you a chance to work through the material, try to identify places where you misunderstood stuff the first time, and talk through things both with the people at your table and maybe the surrounding tables, but also be able to ask me questions whenever you get stuck and your table's unable to make progress. Outside of class, you'll be working on the programming projects, you'll be taking periodic module tests, and of course studying for the exams. So this is kind of a visual guide to what you'll be doing sort of on a day-to-day basis in this class. And the videos, the quizzes, and the labs are all tied together by their common tag, their numeric tag. So for this first day of class, these videos that you're watching, and then the quiz and the associated quiz and the lab all have the number 1. For this very first day, you don't have to do the quiz before coming to class, but you will need to do that quiz by the beginning of the next, or by the end of this week, I believe, and then you'll need to take the second quiz before coming to class the second day. Okay, so because of that, class attendance is necessary and expected. So this is not a class that you can kind of skip and get all of the benefit out of. We will be completing labs, like I said, most class periods, and so I would like for you to find a group of people to work with consistently, so you can move around a little bit at the beginning of the semester if you'd like, but eventually people tend to converge into small groups. So it's kind of ideal to have sort of 2 to 4 people for this. Larger than that, it becomes kind of unwieldy. I'd like for you to use a name card for the first half of the semester until everyone learns everybody's names. So every person should fill out a separate copy of the lab and submit it, but I do expect you to work together and to help check each other's work and to help each other, explain things when one person understands it, maybe and the other person is not quite so confident about it. And so when you get stuck, I expect you to ask for help, and if you are unsure about an answer, you should call me over to help confirm it. The goal is to have the right answers on all of the submissions by the end of class. And so, these labs are designed to kind of get you stuck. They are designed to make you sort of understand where you may not quite fully understand stuff as much as you thought you did coming out of the videos and the readings, and so that's the lab working as intended. And when you get stuck, I hope that you will take the time to pause, talk about it with other people that you're at your table, and call me over if you need to. Please resist the urge to speedrun. I know that it's always tempting to try to get things done as quickly as possible, or to work solo. That's not the way these labs are intended to work, and you're not getting as much out of them as you could be if you are doing these things. So please take the time to work in groups and try to converge to the correct answers by the end. When you are done, you will submit these labs as PDFs on Canvas and Gradescope for me to do some grading. So you need to scan these as a black and white PDF, so that means actually using a scanning app to do the conversion rather than just taking photos and submitting them. So do not submit raw photos. Make sure that you're using some sort of scanning app. If you've never done that before, there are instructions on the CS Wiki. You need to make sure that it went through, that it actually submitted, and that it's legible. And I would also encourage you, there may be some days where you don't quite finish the lab in the class time, and if that's ever the case, then I would highly encourage that you go ahead and submit what you've got at the end of the class period, just to make sure that you have partial credit even if you forget to come back later and finish things up. The labs are going to be lightly graded, so I'm not going to mark every single individual mistake, although Gradescope does allow me to grade at a pretty granular level, so you'll get quite a bit of feedback about what you got wrong and what you didn't get right, or what you got wrong and what you got right. The solutions themselves will be posted on Canvas, and you'll be able to see the rubrics on Gradescope as well. And I would encourage you to bring your solution back for the next class, because we will be reviewing those, and there are usually some good things to talk about coming out of that. And so we'll probably be doing that as the first thing each day. And then if you don't get all your questions answered, then you're welcome to come to office hours to talk about the lab further.